Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Season 2, Episode 22 of CSD Head-2-Head. Today I have two new running backs for you in Phillip Lindsay and Matt Breida.
On second down, it's Lindsay breaking tackles, first down and more. Into the end zone for the touchdown.
Starting off, we're looking at Lindsay's rushing and receiving. Lindsay is an up-the-gut type runner with 42% of all his carries going up the A-gap. This can in the long run be very predictable, but has for 2018 worked so far. After the A-gap, we have the B-gap outside the guards as his second favorite, which even more shows just how much of an up-the-gut type of runner he is. With his yards per carry, we see that he has yet to suffer from any setbacks due to this predictability, as he has 6.1 yards per carry in the A-gap. This is fantastic. Having 42% of all your carries go for this much is all you can ask for. Add to that he has 4.8 yards per carry outside the right guard where he runs second most, and we have great synergy between productivity and play calling. In the receiving aspect of his game, he's a very classical running back distribution with more throws to the outside than over the middle, where he is perfectly league average. Nothing outside the norm here at all. He is somewhat reliable in catching the ball, at least to the outside zones, so having him as a check down over the middle might not be the best idea, while screens to the sides is looking good. His touchdown rate is 3.6% and is heavily impacted by him not scoring receiving touchdowns. If you only look at rush touchdowns, he's at a high 4.3%. Back to his receiving, his yards per catch is right on league average. The numbers does not impress me at all, and we do not need to drag this out any further.
Breida slices through the Giants defense. And Breida, that's going to be a 49er touchdown.
Now let's take a look at Matt Breida's rushing and receiving. Breida's play calling is way more diverse than Lindsay's. He runs left, right, middle, outside, inside, all over the place. This makes it very difficult for defenses to know where he's going, but also puts him in a situation where he needs to produce yards in situations where he might not be as comfortable in. What I mean by that is, you can see that he has below 4 yards per carry outside the left guard and right end. Those two lanes account for 28% of all his runs. With that, he has almost a third of his runs to lanes where he is less than stellar. While outside the tackles, where he's most productive, only gets 24% of all his carries. Not as great synergy as Lindsay, but he is less predictable. Breida's targets reminds us of Alex Collins and Kenyon Drake. Backs that sees over half their targets to one side of the field, predictable, and hampers their production in the passing game. With his catch rate, we see that he's just above 50% to the left side of the field. With 52% of the targets coming there, we again don't have the best synergy. We can't blame the quarterback though, as Lindsay only has Case Keenum. His touchdown rate since entering the league is 3.9%, but it could have been a little bit better if he scored some more touchdowns on the ground. His yards per catch is again a synergy disaster, with his worst zone being the left one, so none of these backs are fantastic in the passing game at all.
First down, Phillip Lindsay back in. Lindsay waits, great patience. Lindsay cutting to the outside. He's got blazing speed, and he's gone. Touchdown, Broncos.
Now let's take a look at how they perform in some different situations. Both these running backs prefer to play at home turf. Also, just wanted to add a footnote here. This is not a given, as there's only a 4% difference across the entire NFL. Lindsay has only a 4-point difference in his scoring when playing a bottom 10 defense, while Breida has over 5 points. Good for both this week. Lindsay steps up his fantasy scoring when the Broncos are facing a winning team, while Breida is a couple of points better when the 49ers play a below 500 record team. So Lindsay's best situation is playing at home versus an above 500 record team, and Breida's best situation is playing at home versus a below 500 record team.
And try to put yourself in that position. And here he is, off to the races. He has one defender to beat. He's going to cut it back to the inside. Yes, he will, and that is a touchdown.
Time to look a little closer at the two defenses they will face in the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Steelers have been hammered up the middle all year long, but have been good at limiting players to yards, while they have struggled a ton against runs outside the right tackle and the left guard. Lanes Lindsay is very good in. The Bucs are a bit all over the place. I expect Breida to be very good in his runs up the A-gap and runs to the right side of the field, but see limited success in his runs to the left side of the field. Lindsay matches well against the Steelers, while Breida has an easier opponent overall, with the Steelers giving up 16.4 points per game to running backs and the Buccaneers a whopping 23.6. Looking further ahead at their schedules, Lindsay has a fantastic couple of games in front of him. There is terrible run defenses all across the board for him, with San Francisco being the best as the 15th best run defense in the league. Breida has a very different situation. He has the 29th worst schedule for running backs in the entire NFL to Lindsay's 3rd best schedule. So this is a heavy schedule win for Lindsay. Comparing their numbers, we have a ceiling win for Breida by 0.1 point, so basically a tie here. Lindsay takes home the 1-game floor. He has been much better in his bad games than Breida in his bad games. The risk of them not reaching their projection this week is also very close. It is only a 10% difference, 56% versus 66%. And with their week 12 projections being 12.8 and 11.6, we have an advantage to Lindsay, but with a very slim margin. Let's look at their pros and cons before I can make a decision, starting off with Lindsay. He has great synergy in the play calling and stronger numbers than Breida for week 12, a good game situation at home against the Steelers, and he has fantastic schedule moving forward. No con? Oh well, I guess his receiving? For Breida, he faces a terrible opponent in the Bucs. He has a good game situation playing a bottom 10 defense with a below 500 record, but does not match their defense scheme as well as I hoped, and the play calling does not have the best synergy with his production. So after comparing all these factors, there's only one guy, and that's Phillip Lindsay for me that I want in week 12 and moving forward. Before doing this analysis, I thought I would roll with Breida, but I'm mightily impressed with Lindsay's numbers and I feel good about my decision. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button to help out the channel. Subscribe for more weekly content. The live stream tomorrow is moved to 11 AM, and as always, the spreadsheets are dark and full of terror. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.